As the NBA offseason looms, trade winds are beginning to blow, and not gently. The league is entering the height of rumor season, where no name feels off limits and no front office can truly sit idle. With the NBA draft fast approaching, expect a flurry of phone calls, shakeups, and blockbuster possibilities. And right now, two teams are on very different ends of the spectrum. The reigning champion Boston Celtics are playing chess, not checkers, while the Sacramento Kings are scrambling to rewire their roster after a frustrating finish. Boston Celtics, strategic patience or inevitable shakeup. The Boston Celtics might have won it all in 2024, but make no mistake, their roster decisions this offseason will be driven by cold, hard realities rather than championship nostalgia. At the center of it all is Jayson Tatum's Achilles injury, which has dramatically shifted the Celtics' calculus. Without their superstar available for much, if not all of the 2025 season, the urgency to compete at the highest level is understandably dimmed. That, coupled with Boston's status as a second apron team under the new collective bargaining agreement, means the front office is now balancing long-term competitiveness with financial discipline. And while names like Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis have been floated as potential cap casualties, NBA insider Jake Fisher of the Stein line suggests Boston is in no rush. They're not acting like a team desperate to shed salary. Quite the opposite. They're calculating, patient, and fully prepared to let the trade market develop into the regular season or even all the way to the February deadline. This long-game approach is all about leverage. If they move on from Holiday or Porzingis, it won't be just to save money. It'll be for real value in return. Fisher notes that outside of Tatum and Jaylen Brown, just about everyone else could be in play. That includes coveted guard Derek White, who has blossomed into one of the most consistent two-way players in the league, and Peyton Pritchard, a spark plug off the bench who's earned real trust in Boston's rotation. The Celtics may be the champs, but their offseason isn't about running it back. It's about navigating injuries, avoiding financial traps, and possibly cashing in on key veterans at just the right moment. It's high-stakes roster poker, and Boston is holding their cards close to the vest. Sacramento Kings, from double point guard glory to desperation. Once upon a time, the Kings had two franchise point guards, Tyrese Haliburton and De'Aaron Fox, and they gave them both away. Haliburton now sits 2 wins from an NBA title with Indiana, while Fox was sent packing to San Antonio in a midseason stunner. Now, the Kings are scrambling to find a capable floor general, and the market is far from ideal. Jake Fisher reports that Sacramento has its eyes on the likes of Jrue Holiday, Marcus Smart, and Malcolm Brogdon. All respectable names, but each with complications. Holiday's availability hinges entirely on Boston's timeline, which, as stated, may not match Sacramento's urgency. Brogdon, while productive, brings with him injury concerns. Smart, however, may be the most realistic and tantalizing target. Currently with the Wizards, Smart is very gettable, but at what cost? Sacramento's big three of Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, and DeMar DeRozan hasn't exactly worked out, and it seems inevitable that one of them will be shipped out. Of the three, DeRozan feels like the odd man out. He's 35, entering the twilight of his career, and has 2 years left on his deal. However, he remains a consistent and efficient scorer and could serve as a veteran anchor for a Washington team in need of identity. A hypothetical DeRozan for Smart swap with a future first-round pick included could be mutually beneficial. The Wizards get a steady scorer and leadership. The Kings get a gritty Defensive Player of the Year caliber guard who can organize their offense and finally bring some teeth to their defense, an area they ranked just 22nd in league-wide last season. Smart fits the timeline and fills the void. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to be impactful. He plays with intensity. He defends at the point of attack like a pit bull on a leash. For Sacramento, he's more than a guard. He's an identity reset. Draft day wildcards. Here's where things get even more interesting. Fisher also reports that the Kings are actively trying to trade into the first round of this year's NBA draft. And not just anywhere in the first, they're hoping to land in the early 20s, a range where several high-upside guards are expected to be available. Why? Multiple possibilities. 1. The pick could be a tool to acquire someone like Marcus Smart or Brogdon.